My name is Ellyse Trethric. I'm the Director of Curation and Artist Relations here at Blackdove. Today, it is the fourth edition of our podcast, Curated by Blackdove. It is produced by Possess Art. They're creating weekly newsletters that are showcasing high-quality artists. And this is the fourth edition. We're very excited to be a part of that and their experience and their growth, and interviewing an incredible artist today, EuphoriaNFT. You have really created a name for yourself out there in the world. You're showcasing your art at a bunch of places. It was such an incredible experience to meet you at the Brian Brinkman show that we hosted in New York City at the NFT Gallery 2 weeks ago, and wonderful to have lunch with you the next day and just learn more about you. I'd love you to tell the audience, where you kind of came from in art and how you got to where you are now and the projects that you're working on.
Thank you. Thank you first for having me. Thank you, Ellyse, for your kind words. And I'm Alessia Moccia. I'm an Italian raised and grown in Rome, in the center of Rome, in Campo de' Fiori, close to Piazza Navona. So in a place where the art is open air and free of any charge. So I wake up and I was walking all the time, inspired by all these Bernini and Borromini fountains. So it's something that really heal your heart and your mind. I'm always looking for my damn city, so I have not found my roots. And 14 years ago, I moved to Miami, where I lived for 12 years. Now I'm living in New York, and I'm not, even if I love this city, that is the cultural center of the world, I'm sure that I might be on the move again, always in search of something, of my storytelling, because I'm a street photographer and I love to see and to tell stories that I see in the street. And so I think that this is my game, my global game of hiding and seeking. Yes.
That's wonderful. I know that you are, you have had some amazing successes in this recent past, as well as coming up with Art Basel. You have a show on November 7th. It just seems like never ending with you, which is amazing. I really think that a lot of your success is your attitude and who you are also. You're such a go-getter. You're such a people person. You're so kind. You really have a brand about you that is like, it really draws people in, and you draw people in. And that's really important, I feel like, for the success of artists. Like, you are that brand, which is amazing. And I have Damn Alien over here playing on the Blackdove screen, of course, for this interview. How was your career kind of structured in the past? How did you get to where you are now, working with this, this subset of photography and integrating this extraterrestrial feel, where you came right before that?
Yeah, my professional journey has been quite diverse, because I started as a parliamentary interpreter in French language. I speak 4 languages, and the French is my favorite one, the second is the Italian, Spanish, and English. But it was, I was working as interpreter in a political organization called Confindustria. It was a male-dominated environment, and it was just a little confusing, corrupted. So my creative mind was really in jail, and I quitted immediately this work, even if I was really generously paid, but I wanted to follow my path about creativity and imagination. So I started a fashion master with my mentor, that is a great journalist, Adriana Mulassano. She's still my mentor, and she was the iconic press office of the Giorgio Armani Group. So I had the opportunity to found my first company, that was a photography producing company, Primo Piano TV, and I started to achieve some roles as a producer, art director, fashion editor, and stylist. So I was in contact with the great minds like celebrities, and I was always in their vibes, understanding and absorbing their uniqueness. So I started to work for printed magazine like for Condé Nast, for Celebrity Portrait and covers, for Vanity Fair, GQ, and with Mondadori for Grazia. Simultaneously, I came to Miami, and I felt the necessity to switch from celebrities to influencers because it was what the marketing was asking for. And this is my business family with my husband. We opened Americanoids, that is an influencer digital marketing agency. We still have a video production because we produced some TV series in which we were protagonists in Italy. All our team, so me as a fashion editor and the organization, we explained all the behind the scene of our photo shoots with celebrities, and our dogs were included as well. And they were the most famous people in all the teams. They were very recognized in the streets by everyone. So this is my path. And during the isolation, I started to study photography in a deep level. So I started to take my camera and to get around, because I had only the chance to make a street photography, of course, because I couldn't close myself in a studio with anyone. And I really enjoyed this new version of photography, because I was free, totally free to capture it in a candid way. All the people, some of them, they can recognize that you are taking picture. Some are super happy, some are very shy, but this eye contact and these energies, the vibes that you can absorb and take in the photos is the first step of my project. Because in my photo, I have 50% is the research of the photos with the pure photography. I wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and I take the camera, I get on the street and I take photos. And the 50% that is really very important is the manipulation of the photos, because I intentionally manipulate a lot. I always say that I had the layers. So like often my photos have 2-3 layers, because there is the pure photography, my alienation, so the idea of these aliens that are on the streets, that are hidden, but some people can see them in a way that is not scientific. I'm not about speaking about the zone 52, but I'm speaking about the alienation of the mask that we wear unconditionally, and about the formalism for the rule of the societies. So for me, the alien are pure people, are people that are so bold not to wear the masks. I come from dysfunctional families, so I have not experienced much love when I was a child, and I lived a narcissistic abuse. I met malignant narcissist, and unconsciously I was, of course, I absorbed a lot of these malignant vibes, but I overcame all this situation because I'm a resilient person. I'm very strong. I'm very rooted in my values, in my creativity, and in my way to save the world, even with images, even because people find my photos that are positive, that they are really mesmerizing, and they find peace and a different world in which they can stay.
I feel that way too. There's so many of your pieces are, no two are the same, and I love all of the layers that you put in. What kind of gravitated you towards the alien field? Just feeling like people were wearing masks, or do you like space, or is it a combination of the two?
It's a combination of the two. I think that the space is a pure zone, because now nobody has contaminated the space. So we have the chance not to ruin something that is new. And at the same time, the aliens are like only pure persons, are our soul. And I can see I'm an hypersensitive person, so I have a huge empathy for people. I can enter a room and I can feel the feelings of the people, if they are sad, if they are happy, and they really impact my soul. So when I'm on the street, I see aliens, because sometimes people are very happy, sometimes they are sad, sometimes they don't speak, but they speak really in a heavy way, in the way they walk, in the way they are reading a book, in the way they are observing other people. So there is always something very deep inside the eyes and the movements of the people. So I'm attracted by all this system, and I see that sometimes, even if the society struggle us, because there is a lot of formality in which we are obliged to stay. I try not to stay in these lines. I try to get out, and to be transparent, to be fluent, to be sincere. I trust people, even if many people hurted my heart. But I want to trust people because I believe that the love is the goal of every situation and every person. So there is always love, there is a compassion, there is generosity. So I prefer to believe in a positive world. They want to see the positive people as aliens, because it's rare to see them, but not because they are not existing, because you have to recognize them, because they are there. So this is my way to see the society and people, regular people walking the street, and not only speaking about celebrities that are on the stage, that are acting a moment or performing a situation. Or
I love that. And, you know, without having conversations like this, we wouldn't know how truly deep a piece of art is, you know, because people just see it for face value until you really have these conversations. So they meet you and ask these questions that I think are really important. It's the embodiment of emotion of these pieces that you're creating and putting time into, and creating these different layers of feeling and thought and creativity into, which I think is amazing, and leads me into, you know, your work with this new artist that creates these helmets, and how emotional those are as well, and how you're both kind of working together to create these really interesting kind of, you know, transcendent images that, again, without like vocalization or somebody reading about them, they wouldn't know how deep or purposeful that these helmets are. Can you tell me a little bit about your work with this particular artist?
yes, I'm in this upcoming event that is DFuturism. I'm collaborating with this huge and cute human that is called Pamela Lubell. She's from New York, and she created these sculptures that are really unique and evocative. These are these helmets that represents the shield against the mental health. She was abused, power. She's a movie producer. She's a designer. She was awarded for the poster of Pulp Fiction. She produced actually Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and Clerks, and many, many, many famous work. She was working with Miramax, so her boss is now in prison for life. It's a famous and sad story that touched Hollywood at its roots. And so she was mentally manipulated, and she suffered by power abuse and harassment. And she found her way building these helmets that metaphorically preserve and defend our brain for all this manipulation. We decided to collaborate, and we created a photo shoot together involving models / influencers / friends, and all of them wore these helmets with a beautiful fashion outfit. I come from the fashion, so it's always a relevant point for me that is always present in my photos. It was one of my first portraiture photo collection, because I'm always take candid photos, but this was a real set production that took place on the High Line here in New York, because I'm always a street photographer and I love the dynamicity. DFuturism is an Italian movement that was born in 1909 in Italy, and it was about the representation of audacity and speed, velocity, dynamism, modernism. So all my photos that specifically on the line that is so close to the buildings, so to the lines, perspective and movement, I hope that they will represent this magical movement that was founded by Marinelli. And the idea came up by a friend of mine, Jimena. She gifting me a book that was published by the Guggenheim, because the Guggenheim made an exhibition about the Italian futurism. And this book is very rare. She gifted it to me because she saw first that my work was the reflection of a sort of dynamism, of a sort of this movement, but very elegant in a way that is sophisticated and irregular one, and that is the opposite of formality. So I started to reflect on this, and I thought, oh yes, thank you, Kimena, you opened my mind, and now I have to enhance and to underline the style that I really love, because at the end I'm always on the street, but with as a squad of models. It was very fun, and we took beautiful photos that I think that will create connection with the audience and the collectors, NFT collectors, digital art or traditional art. It is always to create connections, so in your art.
And this is what your November 7th show at Canvas 3.0 is going to be revolving around, these pieces?
Exactly. During the DFuturism exhibition on November 7th, there will be 80 photos, because there will be many displays, so that I can transform every display as a frame that can contain more than one photo, so 4 or 5 photos per display.
Yep.
And every photos will be in, there will be many of my collection that I took alone as a street photographer, and there will be this new photo collection, DFuturism, that is in collaboration with Pamela Lubell and Francesca Ferretti. She's a director and she's a creative designer, and she put the third layer on the photos that is very inspirational, because it's about the gaming, the 90s gaming, like Pac-Man and
Nice.
yes, so it will be very fun, because there will be 3 stories behind the photos: the pure photography, the helmets that have a consistent and huge history, and the gaming that try to quiet all this mental health and not sad but true story that sometimes can happen.
I love the name of the show, DFuturism, and I love your hat. And you gave me a hat, which I love too, a purple one in New York City. Can you tell us a bit more about that brand and what,
Yeah.
DAM means to you?
Then I stick always them, the word them, in front of all my collections. And I use a lot of them. Them is just to enhance the severity and the enthusiasm that I put in all my stuff. And it's a sort of wow that for me is overrated. So I prefer them. Them, you're beautiful. Them, it's amazing. Them is good. Them, this pizza. Them, this Sauvignon Blanc. Them is something that really is opening conversation. When I always wear these damn caps, and in the street, people immediately mirroring, and they say, "Hey, damn!" And so we start to have a conversation, because they ask me why this damn. I use a lot this damn phrase. So it's quite different, because wow is like a cliche. Is wow, you are beautiful. It's a cliche. Damn, you are beautiful. It's so severe. It's so authentic, no? And I
Yeah.
really. I'm making a lot of merchandising with the damn, because I come from fashion. So this is something for me that is really very important, and I love accessories more than traditional dresses. I think that the accessories can translate everything in a new conversations. So
Yeah.
I'm making, and thank you to the Possessor. We are working together in this project of the damn caps and damn hoodies and t-shirts. Yes,
I
that
love
are
that.
total success.
It's super fun to say because it's so widely accepted. It's not like the F word or the S word or a variety of other letter words, but it's something that's more acceptable and fun. And like, damn, you look good. Like, damn, this is delicious. And it's it's I feel like fun and positive the way that you spin it, and I really like it. Like, damn, that's a great piece of art. Like
Yes.
I think that's super fun and wonderful, and I love it. I think it makes me smile when I see it. I'm like, yeah, that's
Yes,
cool.
it's the same effect with people during on the street. They smile, so it's something that make me happy, because
Yeah,
people are in their thoughts, and they, oh, damn, 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 damn. What does
yeah.
it is this damn? It's damn.
And you embody it so good, and the caps look just so good on you, and you're like, damn, she looks good with that damn hat on. Looks awesome. I think a perfect placement for product and branding for you, which is just beautiful. I know that you have the November 7th show, and I know that you're looking to do some stuff at Basel. I'd love for you to tell me what you're kind of thinking of for Basel, if it's going to be kind of a similar show, where it's going to be, and what it's going to be about.
Yeah,
And then I'd know a little bit more about after that. We'll move into, kind of a little bit of how you create your art, and yeah, we'll go from there.
of course. I have experienced 12 Art Basel because I was living in Miami, so I love
Yeah.
Art Basel. It's something that is in my tradition. And this year I want to be present as an artist as well. So I'm
Awesome.
collaborating with some luxury buildings that allow to install the displays and to showcases NFTs art. And them aliens and them futurism is something that is really relatable, and people love all these photos, so they want to use the NFTs as a new form of art because there is an example. I have sold 52 NFTs to the Lofty Brickell, that is a new building that is in construction in Miami, and the group, they decided to gift the NFTs to the new owners of the penthouse and of the apartments, because I
Nice.
think that the reason was, what can I gift to a millionaire that is
Yeah.
buying a so expensive? I can't gift a Porsche or a Rolex because maybe they already own it. And then NFTs is again a cutting edge idea, is something that can be new and can be interesting to speak about, because not everyone is familiar with NFTs. That is a real new weapon to make art. It's a sort of democratization of the art for me, because it allows us as artists to have royalties, to tokenize our contracts, and to be featured globally with no shipping, with no a lot of distractions, etc. So I'm in negotiation with some other galleries in during Art Basel, and I make every day some steps forward. My goal to be exhibited, to be known, and to continue in my storytelling of my life, in my progression, in my sort of therapy. My therapist always told me, you have two therapists, your camera and me, the physical one and your camera, because every morning I'm a morning person, and I once really was really hit by an interview by Luc Besson, the French director, and he was telling that he wakes up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning because it's the smartest hour for your brain. So at 15 years old, I imposed myself to wake up at 5
Wow.
o'clock in the morning. And it's beautiful because you are connected with yourself, because everything is silent, it's dark, and there are no cell phones, no WhatsApp, no bling bling, anything. And you can make in 2 hours the work that you can make in 7 hours. So I post produce my photo in this range of hours, because I'm alone with my aliens and my moons and my planets and my coffee. And I intentionally manipulate my photos. I use a lot of tech tools like Adobe Photoshop Beta, of course. I'm in love with Midjourney. It's my best friend right now, because I can create my own characters on Midjourney.
Yeah.
I can prompt them whatever I want, how they should be dressed, the kind of heels, the kind of lens I want them to be represented. So for me,
Yeah.
Midjourney is a very opening mind.
Yeah.
I really can't be without Midjourney, and I use a lot of many other tools, After Effects for the movement, and Illustrator, that it's something that I really use with my team. Of course, I have a team that helps me in some specific way, because I imagine everything, I design everything, and my team helps me in the movements, sometimes in the sounds, because I want that the experience should be 100%. It's a
Mm-hmm.
multisensorial experience. Yes, the photos. So you can have this flowing movement in your apartment on your screens that is really mesmerizing. So this is the process of my photo. It starts always 50% pure photography, 50% is manipulation. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's more manipulation. Now I'm making even some photo collection only in Midjourney, so only AI, because I really think that is a new instrument that we have to use. It's quick, it's fantastic, it's full of imagination, and we are, as human, we are creative. I believe in the imagination. This is the era of the imagination, thanks to AI, because sometimes you prompt something and AI builds something different, and is an opening again, is a starting again, because you can, oh my god, this is good, so I can shift with another idea. And this is the
Yeah.
beauty of the AI. I know that many photographers hate, and there is a lot of conversations against AI. I'm a cutting edge person, so I dive immediately in everything is new, because I believe that at the end is we will be replaced by other men that will use AI, not by AI. So it's clever for me to stay
Yeah.
immediately behind all these new technologies.
I think it's smart too, and I've had a lot of or I've seen a lot of artists that were at the beginning against AI, but then a lot of them have turned to using it to, they'll create a piece and then they'll have AI do XYZ to it, something else, and they'll be inspired to create something new, like using their training it to their art style, and then creating something new based on only them, which is still them. So I think it's really interesting how AI is able to be used with art, and especially with some generative art. I think it's really interesting, and I just love seeing what people are able to create. And I know that when I was working more on my book that I haven't been working on very much, I was using that to uh, help me visualize things to be able to write better, which I think is really interesting. It can just be a really amazing inspiration piece, which is beautiful. And speaking of being inspired, I'd love to have you review, your top 3 favorite kind of pieces that you've made. And we will put them in post production here on the screen so everybody can see them and kind of understand what you're describing.
Yeah, my favorite ones are the one of the first ones is a Galaxy Jungle, and it's I took this photo in the dawn in Miami at 4 o'clock, and it was beautiful because I was alone on the beach with the sun coming up, and I saw, of course, that I put in post production a tiger with the fish that are flying on the sky. So I usually subvert the reality, and I'm trying to create the ordinary to shift the ordinary in extraordinary. So usually animals that are wild, like tigers or fishing, flying fishing, or scary stuff, for me are the best calming and quiet souls in the world, because I really um, feel free with creating all these mesmerizing stuff. So this is one of my favorite ones. The second one is Resting Glow. That is the photos that was chosen by the Lofty Brickell, because it was a commissioned work. And there is always another tiger that is over this Saturn planet, that is on the ocean and very calm and quiet, with all stars that are falling down. And it's a sort of peace, calming photos. And now my new passion is about the damn aliens that are half AI and half manipulating by Photoshop. But I love them a lot because I decided how to wear them, and it was a tribute to fashion. For example, everyone wear a cat suit, because I'm a lover of cat suit that is very avant-gardist, but every it was a huge work, even if it was with AI, because I researched the real style of every fashion designer, because I come from there, so I'm very deep with the fashion. So all these photos are my new favorite one, and there is the Damn Alien have been awarded by the International Photography Award, the IPA, with an honorable mention. So it's the second year that I'm winning this award. That is very important
No,
because it's very prominent for photographers. So I'm super proud of myself. I will receive the award at the Carnegie Hall. So it's something very important. And again, it underlines my resilience and my way to get forward and to create every day one step forward.
that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank
It's a combination of you and your artwork. It is just so your artwork is so you. Like when you really meet you and know you, and I think it's amazing. And where you're going with these different kinds of pieces of art, but they're similar but very different and very emotional, and deep, each one of them, which is amazing. And I love that they're all touched by your hand, not purely AI. You're really manipulating in ways that you want to see it, out there in the world. And since you've kind of stepped into this digital landscape of NFTs that kind of came about a few years ago, where do you feel like digital art is going? To compare to where it was and where it's been the last 6 months. Do you think that it's becoming more acceptable? Do you feel, like what do you feel about digital art in the larger consumer kind of sense?
I have always believed that digital art will stay here not for a year, but for decades. I think that it will be everywhere, literally, because we will use it now as our collection, but we will use it as a utility, as a subscription, as a concert tickets, as a
Yeah.
entrance for catwalks, runway. And I believe in breaking the barriers of the physical art galleries, because I don't believe that in the future there will be these 9-6 jobs that constrain you in physical shops. I believe in galleries. I want to see art galleries in the metaverse, and so that you can buy, you can collect, you can make art 24 hours globally, and you can intersect with meditation. You can create every sort of new genre of art. So I believe that NFTs will stay here for a long time, even if there is a fluctuation, the bear market, but this is everywhere. So even in the traditional investments, we have a fluctuation. So I believe that NFTs will stay here for a lot. It's like when
Yeah.
Instagram was born, everybody thought that it was just for teenagers, just for pretty faces, just for selfies, but it's a different. We used even the social media for huge events, for huge
Yeah.
demonstration, like Black Lives Matter, the Me Too movement. So in everything we have to find the positive way, and I think that NFTs will stay here for a long time.
I definitely agree. And I think that blockchain technology is here to stay. And I love it's like kind of a two-faced coin for me. I love the awareness that NFTs, the word NFT and NFTs on the blockchain have brought to like the value and acceptance of digital art as something other than just, for a company to use or an agency or something like that. When I was doing 3D art, there was only Behance, for your art. You had your portfolio on your website, hopefully sending it to an agency, but nobody was buying it like to show in the house. Nobody had it as a collectible piece, especially moving pieces. It was like they didn't know what to do with it because integrations weren't, readily available, and large varieties of art readily available on platforms as well, and just easy playing modules. And I think that where kind of we stand with Black Dove is we see the appreciation with NFTs. There's a lot of artists and collectors that don't want anything to do with NFTs just because people have, a variety of people have given them a bad name, or they just want to see wider acceptance. And that's totally fine. And that's what that licensed pieces that we have, with us, as well as having a subscription to like over 5,000 pieces of art, which is
Yeah.
amazing. And we're very excited to have your work on the platform and showcase you for the Canvas 3.0 and work with you for your other Basel events and be able to provide larger screens for you to really show your art at that size that it's intended to be viewed. Because it's just not enough on a phone screen. Like, I want to see it and appreciate it in my home, where you can play it on any smart television or any digital canvas. And we're just really excited to work with you and create a really amazing viewing experience for your art the way that it was intended to be viewed. And I really appreciate all of your time today. And before, when you came to our event, it was an absolute pleasure to meet you and your partner and your two dogs. They were just lovely. And damn, you are an amazing person. Is there anything that you wanted to share before we close out the podcast?
I want to thank you, Black Dove and Possess, of course, for this opportunity, and thank you for believing to stay in the same zone, because I believe in the communities. The communities are the best power that we can create. So I want to thank you very much, you and all my collaborators, because I believe that my strength, it's thank you to Pamela Liubelli, thank you to Francesca Ferretti, to Andrea, and to all people that are now helping to raise my voice and to give value to all my thinkings and all my artworks.
We love it. We love it. I can't wait to see what you come up with next. I can't wait to see everything that you're doing. And it's been a pleasure to talk with you. I can't wait to see you again at Art Basel. Very exciting. It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. My name is Ellyse Trethric. I'm the Director of Curation and Artist Relations here at Blackdove. Thank you again, Possess, for producing this and showcasing amazing artists from all over the world every week. It is something that is needed to be done for a very long time. We want to keep this going every single.
Thank you. Damn, thank you.